Good morning to all of you. Yesterday we discussed the nature of GS4 paper, what are its key demands, what is its syllabus, the kind of questions that are asked, the resources you should refer to, and how to fulfill demands. Towards the end, we also discussed what are the frequently asked questions that are often raised, and then we started with first topic. But today is the first session of essay writing, and the purpose of today's session is to make you acquainted with those basic elements of essay writing, which if you keep in mind throughout the preparation, you'll be writing essay in accordance with the expectations of UPSC. In addition to this, I would like to dismantle some of the myths that surround essay writing as far as UPSC is concerned. And there are various reasons for these myths. The first important reason, which I often find among aspirants, is unlike ethics paper or subject called ethics, essay is not completely unfamiliar topic. Do you agree? Is there anyone in this hall that who hasn't written any essay so far in once even in life? No. How early do we start writing essays? Do you remember when did you write your first essay? In which standard? कहाँ से शुरुआत किया आपने स्कूल में? 6th. I don't think so. 4th standard. For some people, it is 3rd standard. If you are in advanced school, they start with 2nd standard. Is it not? And what kind of topics do you handle in those? Do you remember your first essays? Those are the vivid memories, fond memories. Because I remember what I had written. The topic was my mother. Is it not? And honestly, I had copied it from somewhere else. Only names were changed. And when my mother saw it, she got sentimental. How could my such little kid write so beautifully? Is it not? And over a period, as we move from one standard to next standard, this writing is there, right? And we also score better than average marks. Do you agree? Yes. More than 50% is a normal thing in essays, school essays. But what happens because of that? The same impression is carried over to the UPSC preparation. People think that since I was good at it, I will be good at it. And this is the myth I would like to dismantle. What you did in schools and colleges was not per se essay writing, even though we used to call it essay. Are you getting my point? Okay, what is the meaning of the word essay? Yes. Have you heard or have you been curious about this word so far? कभी आपने कोशिश की है? Have you tried to find out? No, we take for granted. मुझे मालूम है. Is it not? और ऐसा बहुत बार होता है. In many times, whenever you come across any word, phrase, statement, you assume that I know its meaning. And this is where your education starts. You should question what you know. Then there will be precision in your understanding. The literal meaning of essay is to make an attempt. Are you getting my point? Essay का मतलब, if you find it in dictionary, उसका पहला मतलब क्या है? To make an attempt. When you essay, when you write essay, you are making an attempt to put your thoughts on paper. If you have read English literature, there is one category of essays known as narrative essays or personal essays. where people start writing something and they let their subconscious mind to travel wherever it goes, no focus. Okay, thereby they discover themselves कि मेरे अंदर क्या चल रहा है. In Marathi we call it nibandha, is it not? And what is the interpretation of this word? Bandhanasni means there is no restriction. But if you apply same interpretation to UPSC, it will be a disaster, is it not? If you read notification given by UPSC, in essay paper, they have given you certain guidelines. And in accordance with those guidelines, you have to write essay. So what is the first guideline given over there? Have you read notification? Any one of you? No? पढ़ा नहीं अभी तक notification UPSC जो publish करता है. This is your starting point because it is your raw material given by UPSC. The first guideline is you have to keep close to the topic. Are you getting my point? So you cannot digress from the topic too much. Even though it may happen, you should be alert about it and you should bring back your focus to the topic. ऐसा हो जाता है ना जब हम बातें करते हैं तो टॉपिक से दूर जाते हैं. ये क्लास में भी होता है. Whenever I start talking, connections are made from one point to another point. दूर जाते हैं, फिर से वापस आता हूँ. It can also happen in essay writing. Okay, this is first guideline. Second guideline is you have to arrange your ideas in an orderly fashion. तो जो भी आप लिखने वाले हो उसमें कुछ order होनी चाहिए, sequence होना चाहिए. And third, credit will be given for concise and exact expression. So credit means marks. किसको अच्छे से marks मिलेंगे? जिसका writing exact है, to the point है, जो वो कहना चाहता है वो कम words में कह रहा है. It is not being verbose, beating around the bush. Concise है, exact है, उसको marks मिलेंगे. But is that enough for you to understand what is essay writing for UPSC? Then second path adopted by aspirant is they go through essays written by successful candidates. Is it not? They are freely available on internet. So जो previous year toppers है, उनके आप essays access करते हो, scan किए हुए, and you look at them कि उसने कैसे लिखा है. Now there is a danger in this. What happens when you read those essays? Instead of looking at the style and method, you start looking at the content. Are you getting my point? Whenever you analyze their essays, you don't discover their thought process, how they have arrived at this opinion, what kind of processing has been done, what kind of presentation techniques have been utilized. And many times, these essays also force you to remember your college days, school days. You subconsciously start comparing what you did then and what you are doing now. If you continue like this, then learning essential thing for essay writing will be a very difficult task for you. And that's where our comes second point. What is the key difference in approach for essay writing? So if you look at essay paper in UPSC, why it is given you separately? If after all they are checking your knowledge, understanding in various areas of general studies, is it not? वो अलग अलग पेपर है ना आपके GS 1, 2, 3, 4 उसमें हर एक एरिया में आपका नॉलेज चेक कर रहे हैं, अंडरस्टैंडिंग चेक कर रहे हैं. फिर एसे पेपर अलग से क्यों दिया है बताओ? Why this paper is given separately? Any idea? Any thought? Yes. क्या लगता है आपको? क्यों separately दिया होगा? Because in essay topic also you find some of the topics related to GS, general studies. Is it not? Education है, women empowerment है, poverty है, economic development है, polity है, public administration है, society है, ये सब तो GS में आता है. Then what is the purpose of giving this paper as separate paper? Yes. In addition to, you have ethics also, where they are checking your values. Is it not? Your attitude, your aptitude, your awareness about system, morality. So why do you need this paper separately? Thinking about the topic. All right. Anything else? What it is testing in you? आपका क्या टेस्ट किया जा रहा है इधर? Which is may not be tested in other GS paper. Creativity. Okay, all right. And vision. Right? Are you saying vision? Vision means what? How you imagine the future? Is it like that? Vision means. All right. Anything else? वो तो GS में भी होता है ना. So are they checking mere approach? Correct. So to what extent you can expand your thinking about a particular topic? So expansion भी देख रहे, but सिर्फ expansion देख रहे क्या? Correct. So how many dimensions you can go into to explain a topic? ये scope आपको GS में है क्या? Look at it. The size of your answer limits your writing. Is it not? But this is not the case with essay. When GS is more about your understanding and knowledge, the essay is more about your personality as well, who you are, rather than merely what you know and what you understand. सिर्फ knowledge का test नहीं हो रहा है इधर. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? आपके personality का reflection आपके essay में दिखाई दे रहा है. What kind of views do you bring to the table? How you put your opinion across? How you convince someone about your own viewpoint, which may not be black and white. है ना? मैंने आपको कल भी बताया था, black and white ऐसे बहुत कम चीजें होती है. There are certain gray areas where people may stand against your opinion, and by being aware of that, to what extent you can be persuasive to convince the reader. ये टेक्निक आपके पास है क्या? Which is an essential quality of being an administrator. Are you getting my point? Tomorrow, whenever you frame policies or you provide input for making policy, they won't be accepted just because you give them. There will be debate. There will be people who will question what you are saying. Are you getting my point? To what extent you are persuasive? How well you are articulate? To what extent you can explore the topic from all its dimensions? Now tell me, have we been doing this in schools and colleges? ये हम सब करते थे क्या? On any topic? What was the usual size of or length of essay that you had written in school or college? Maximum number of words? 300. Or in school, college 500, 600, not more than that. Now here it is double the size what you had done. If it was 600, here it is 1200. Are you getting my point? And that's why the second point is important. Learning and unlearning. If you continue to do what you have been doing, then there will not be substantial progress. See, scoring average marks in essay is easy. It's not that difficult. Because you have been reading newspapers, you have been reading textbooks, you have been reading NCRTs, magazines. So of course your zone of awareness increases. So scoring average mark is not a great deal. A person who has spent 2 years in preparing UPSC can write fairly average essays. It's not a big deal. But where do you make the difference in your rank? by focusing on essential elements of essay writing. And that requires some learning and unlearning. If the cup is already full, can I pour something new into it? No, you'll have to empty your cup first. You'll have to let go some of the preconceptions of essay writing. Rather, what you did in school or colleges was not essay writing per se. As far as UPSC point of view, it was more like composition writing, right? You were explaining a topic by giving information about it. But what was missing? The other elements. Okay, that we are going into detail now. This aspect, is robust GS preparation enough to sell you through? Often this question is asked to me and other teachers by aspirants because they hear it from toppers. Many toppers claim that they did not do anything separately for essay writing. What they did during GS preparation was good enough for them to sail through essay. It might have been true few years back, but in last 3-4 years, the challenges have been different. Have you gone through last 3 to 4 years papers? What do you find? What has changed? Correct. Philosophical topics are now more frequently asked in both these sections. Now, where does this leave to you if you rely on GS alone? Is it enough now? No, it's not enough. Of course, you read a lot. You read polity, you read history, you read art and culture, society, governance, IR. What is left now? Everything under the sky that you are reading. Is it now? You are becoming aware. Then naturally this question is asked, that is GS not enough? My answer is no. Why? Why do you think GS is not enough? Because it also makes you aware. In ethics also you study philosophy, various thinkers, their thoughts. In psychology you also study some of the psychological aspects of human life. You also get acquainted with public administration and the morality of it in ethics. So why GS is not enough? Because the nature of the paper is different than GS paper, even though it is called GS paper. Are you getting my point? The size, the length, the kind of understanding they're expecting is different. You cannot merely rely on GS. Otherwise, your essay writing will appear more like a bookish explanation. It should not be. Your opinion should be very much part of what you are saying. And this opinion building cannot happen through what you have been doing so far. इसको हम बोलते हैं ना कॉमन सेंसिकल जजमेंट देना, ये सही है, ये गलत है, ये ऐसा हो रहा है, ये वैसा हो रहा है. No, you'll have to also process the information that you are going to present, and that's why there are some of the essential elements of essay writing. Write down one by one. First element is information. Of course, it is like a flesh to the body. Without it, the writing is a skeleton framework. So information चाहिए ही चाहिए आपके पास. And this is your starting point of preparing essay writing. Unless you have information, you cannot write essays. So many a times during initial phase of essay writing, when people start, my first recommendation to them is, if you are not aware about any topic sufficiently, you read about it first. Let that topic sink in. इंटरनेट पे पढ़ो, किताबों में पढ़ो, पहले जान लो वो क्या है. And let sleep on the topic. उसको subconsciously process होने दो पहले. And after that, you should plan your essay. तो पहला कंपोनेंट क्या है? Information. It gives you substance. कौन सा भी टॉपिक ले लो, एजुकेशन के बारे में ले लो, फार्मिंग के बारे में ले लो, वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट के बारे में ले लो. Unless you have concrete information, whether it is statistics, laws, policies, events, how will you talk about this? Is it not? So कुछ तो information चाहिए आपके पास. तो ये पहला एस्पेक्ट है, यहां से आपको शुरुआत करनी. And unless this component is built enough, you should not dare to write essay. It will be disaster. It will be frustrating exercise. क्योंकि essay का scope compared to school and colleges essays is larger. bigger. Is that clear? Second aspect, लिखो format. So सिर्फ information आपको present नहीं करना है. You'll have to also be careful about what kind of format that you are going to use. Of course, there is no restriction on a format, and in that sense, it is Nibandhan. Are you getting my point? Means there is no restriction on which kind of format that you should be using. You have freedom. This is where creativity component comes in. Are you getting my point? This is where you can be creative. This is where you can be liberal. And this needs processing your thought, processing your information. Simply stating things as they are is not easy writing. Are you getting my point? Because you have read somewhere in newspaper, magazine, or books, and you are stating as it is, or in your own words, it is not easy writing. You are arranging things in a particular relation so that the picture that you are trying to convey through words is clear to the reader. So what you do in second component, you guide reading of the examiner. You do not allow him or her to interpret the essay the way he or she wants. Are you getting my point? You are bringing conciseness in your writing or lucidity in your writing. You are making the picture clear. And this is where second component matters. Format. Are you getting my point? You are processing the information. You are not simply giving information as it is. You are doing it by processing it. Here your efforts are evident. So it is not simply memorizing what you have read. It is also reflecting what you have understood in your writing. Okay? Third component, write down, language. Communication skill is one of the most key quality or attribute that an administrator should have. Why? Why you need communication skill in your job? Simple है, बताओ. So is that simple? Are you not dealing with people, individuals as an individual? So communication skill, does that matter a lot like an administrator? उतना नहीं मैटर करता है ना, नहीं करता. सिंपल लाइफ में करता है कि उतना कम्युनिकेशन स्किल टू गेट थिंग्स डन एज एन इंडिविजुअल. So even if you are not fluent speaker, still you can get things done, no? Has that stopped anyone from surviving? No. As far as career is concerned, I can agree. But as a normal human being, layman, do you need exceptional communication skills? Absolutely not. So why does it matter for an administrator? What does dealing with people mean? What is the definition of administration? Have you gone through this word? Let me tell you, be serious about your choices. Because you are in this hall, I assume that you have been seriously considering your option of joining civil services. And civil services is nothing but public administration. So it is administration. What is administration? What kind of role that you are going to do when you will be selected as a IAS officer or IPS officer or IFS officer or any other? So think about this. What is administration? What you do in administration? What is in simple word it is? When you manage things means what you do. Simplify it. Do by your own. आप सब कुछ करते हो क्या खुद से? नहीं, फिर कैसे करते हो? You get things done from people and by people. इसको बोलते हैं man management. You won't be working yourself on all fronts. You'll be managing things means you are managing people and their activities. And for that, you should have a key quality known as communication skill. You should be clearly communicating what you want to get done. And most of the communication that is done by bureaucrat is not oral communication. It is written communication. Memos are written, reports are written, file notings are written, inputs are given, mails are sent. Are you getting my point? Unless you are adept, if you read some of the good books written for American universities on the topic of public administration, in some of them it is claimed that public service is nothing but a competition in essay writing. Why do you know? Some of the administrators have risen through their ranks because they had exceptional communication skills. They were able to influence people, their ideas through written communication. Now, I don't want to overemphasize this quality at the preparation itself, stage itself. But what I would like to highlight that at least you should have a fair command on the language that through which you are going to present your ideas. So what are the components of language? One is expression. Okay. What is expression means? Yes. Or is it face-to-face communication in essay writing like we have now? No. It's impersonal, is it not? But still, your writing should communicate your feelings as well, your opinions, what you are feeling about the topic. What is your idea about the topic? What is your attitude towards a particular situation? And this is where expression matters. And also it is presentation. How you present yourself, how you present your thoughts, how you present your ideas. So it is not only mere use of words, it is also use of tone. Where you become informal, where you use formal words, where you use it in command language, imperative जिसको बोलते हैं हम, है ना? Where you make a request, where you indicate possibilities, where you highlight contradictions, where you become impersonal, where you bring out your personal emotions. All these are aspects connected with your language skill. And final and most important, and this is what differentiates essay writing for UPSC than other essay writing, is analysis, logic. Whenever you are presenting information, it is expected in UPSC that you have analyzed it sufficiently and then you are presenting it. Now, when I say word analysis, what do you understand by this? Have you been using this word before in your academic life, schools, colleges? So when you analyze something, what do you do? क्या करते हैं आप जब एनालाइज करते हो? हाँ, think in different manners and different aspects. It's still not clear. What is different?
Finding out the rationale.
Means what? So when you say dimensions, means what? Positive and negative means analysis. Okay, I'll give you an example. You'll understand it better. Have you analyzed previous year questions? When you analyze previous year questions, what do you do? Pattern, very good. When you analyze something, you are showing pattern into it. But how do you find pattern? कैसे pattern find out करते हो आप? पैटर्न ढूंढने के लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या है? वो बाद में आता है. पहले क्या करना है? रिपीटेशन तो बाद में आता है. उसके लिए क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है? ब्रेक इनटू पार्ट्स फर्स्ट. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? जो बिगर थिंग है उसको पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करो और उसमें सिमिलैरिटी ढूंढो, कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन ढूंढो, पैटर्न ढूंढो. ये आपको दिखाना है that you are capable of doing this when presenting a topic. You have been analyzing the topic, and after analyzing, you are drawing the conclusion. And this is not so far done in schools and colleges, and this is where new learning is required. And let me tell you, it won't happen suddenly. It won't happen immediately. You have to be patient. You have to be observant. Is that clear? All right. Let's discuss some of the technical aspects. Write down these aspects. This paper is for 3 hours and for 250 marks. There are 2 sections, Section A and Section B. Is it not? In each section, out of each section, you need to select one topic. So you cannot select 2 topics from one section alone. Compulsory out of 4. And section B से एक लेना है. The length or size of each essay is 1000 to 1200 words. So minimum आपको कितने words लिखने हैं essay में? And paper 2000 words. So it is less than what you write in ethics. Is it not? In ethics, how much you write? 3300 words. In essay minimum 2000, 1000 each minimum. Maximum 2400. The space provided you is fixed. So you don't have liberty to write and scratch. If you do that, space is gone. Similar to what ethics also does. Are you getting my point? So for each essay, how much time is available? If you are supposed to write 2 essays, कितना time है आपके पास? 1.5 hours, mean 90 minutes. Is it not? 90 minutes में एक essay लिखना है आपको. So will you be writing throughout 90 minutes? No. First 15 to 20 minutes are needed to plan your essay. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? जो भी टॉपिक, पहले टॉपिक इंपॉर्टेंट, बहुत बार लोग उसमें भी कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं, ये चूज करूं या वो. Okay, so topic selection, brainstorming, planning your essay, recalling the facts, evidences, quotes related to what you are going to say. This all takes minimum 15 to 20 minutes. And this much should be given at all. Even if you take 30 minutes, still it is worth. Are you getting my point? Even if you give 30 minutes for each essay for planning, still it is worth. Suppose that you take 20 minutes. Then how many minutes are available for actual writing? 70 minutes. Correct? So 70 minutes में आप कितने words लिखने हैं? 1000. 7 minutes में कितने लिखने हैं? 100. Is it not? 70,000 in 7 means 100 words. So 1 minute में कितने लिखने हैं आपको? Average 15. Are you getting the point? एक वर्ड्स के लिए कितना वक्त है? 4 seconds. Simple calculations. So your speed of writing, your speed of thinking must be in line with what UPSC expects. Content भी आपको जनरेट करना है, थॉट प्रोसेस भी करनी है, प्रेजेंटेशन के बारे में भी सोचना है और एनालिसिस के बारे में भी सोचना है. You have to bring in all these 4 elements which will make your essay different than the masses. And let me tell you from my experience, many UPSC aspirants, those who are writing main, they do not treat this paper on par with other GS paper. The amount of time invested in preparing this paper is less compared to GS, which is really paradoxical. Because if you look at trade-off, essay gives you more marks than GS. If you look at trend so far of toppers, they have consistently scored higher marks in essay than other GS. Rather, what rationality demands is, if the paper is more scoring, you should spend more time on it, so that you will have exceptional marks. where there is a scope. Are you getting my point? But this is not often done by aspirants. Now, before 2014, there was no such a division like section A, section B. There used to be only one section. And in that section, they used to give you 6 essay topics. And out of those 6, you are expected to write only one. And the word limit was 2000 to 2400 words. Are you getting my point? Now, suppose that per page, if you write, say, 100 words, average, how many pages you are expected to write in that time? Minimum 20 pages. By the time people reach to 10th page, they forget what they had written on first and second page. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? They lose the track of what they are writing because it is so expansive. उतना स्टडी नहीं होता है किसी का. Only few exceptional people. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? And then it was very difficult to evaluate the people. It was an uphill task. उनको evaluate करना ये बहुत difficult था. Moreover, it was a mixture of philosophical and GS based topics. 6 में philosophical भी रहते थे and GS based भी रहते थे. So normally people, because they are acquainted with GS well, they used to select most of them GS based topics. So again, for the purpose which this paper was given, this purpose was defeated because they wanted to see the reflection of your personality in the paper. But if you write GS consistently, is it possible to judge who you are as a person? Not possible. So since 2014, they compulsory made 2 divisions. In one section, they give you GS based topic. In another section, they give you philosophical topics. In last 2 years, they have compulsory given philosophical topics in both the sections. But if it happens that in both the sections, sometimes GS based topics are given, it happened in 1 year, I would recommend you to choose compulsory one philosophical topic because that will separate you from the masses. Because many people are going to write only GS based topics, if at all given opportunity. Is that clear? Okay, one more thing I would like to highlight here itself. Sometimes GS based topic also, they are not clearly focused on India alone. For example, there was a topic, can capitalism bring inclusive growth? Now, is India mentioned here explicitly? Is it about Indian context? Not necessarily. Is it not? You can go into international affairs also. Correct? The capitalist countries and their situation about inclusive growth. But does that mean you should ignore India at all? Even though India is not purely capitalist country. Are we capitalist purely? No. So what is needed here? A right balance between Indian focus as well as focus on other countries. And to what extent you can apply your learning and opinion to Indian context, that is also evaluated. So some of the topics, even though they belong to GS domain, they are not explicitly about India. That you need to keep in mind. Is that clear? And as I told you, if you have an opportunity that you can write GS topics in both the sections, don't do it. Carefully choose one philosophical topic which you can articulate well, because this is what communicates your personality. Is that clear? So this is basic information about. Next point is write down desirable elements in EC. So elements that you had already written in other language. When you talk about information, the primary thing you should talk about is scope and extent of the information. Is it not? This is what also UPSC asks. है ना, UPSC ने लिखा है ना, you have to keep close to the topic. Means what? Whenever you choose a topic, you should be able to draw the boundary within which you have to write the essay. If you digress much from the topic, you lose the mark. The writing important points which are not closely related to the topic. So this is first point you should keep in mind. Rather, this is the first step where you should start essay writing. As soon as you choose a topic, start brainstorming. कि आप क्या लिखोगे? You have to visualize your essay. You have to boundaries. अंदर ही मुझे सब लिखना है. जो भी आएगा वो इसके अंदर ही रहेगा. Limits you have to draw. ठीक है. Second aspect है thought process. So सिर्फ आप information नहीं बताने वाले हो, right? You are not giving like piles of information. एक के बाद दूसरी, दूसरी के बाद तीसरी. आप उसके बारे में कुछ सोचने भी वाले हो. Is it not? उसके बारे में कुछ सोच के खुद को ओपिनियन फॉर्म करने वाले हो और उसको एग्जामिनर को बताने वाले कि मैं ये सोच रहा हूं इस टॉपिक के बारे में. माय ओपिनियन इज लाइक दिस, बट यू हैव टू डू इट इन क्लियर लूसिड वे एज वेल एज इन स्मार्ट वे. यू हैव टू गाइड द रीडिंग ऑफ एग्जामिनर. उसको स्कोप नहीं देना है, वो खुद इंटरप्रेट करे, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. तो इसका काम कहा आता है सेकंड में थॉट प्रोसेस आपको क्लियर करनी. What you are thinking about the topic and how you are going to present the topic. It is done both in introduction as well as conclusion. Are you getting my point? You are closing the loop. What you have started in introduction, you are ending it in conclusion, and you are closing the loop. And in this way, your essay appears holistic essay, an integrated essay, not separate parts disconnected from each other. ऐसे नहीं लगना चाहिए. You should also have a thread, जो हम बाद में सीखने वाले, जिसको बोलते हैं, which will bind all your points together, like a thread binds pearls together and creates a necklace. The essay appears like that. Are you getting my point? Third component, which you should specially focus on whenever you are writing, to be able to clearly communicate your thoughts and expression, which may not happen in format alone. क्योंकि मेन बॉडी भी रहती है ना जहां आप लिखने वाले हो. सिर्फ इंट्रोडक्शन का एंड कंक्लूजन वो इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं होते. आपको मेन बॉडी में भी कुछ कहना है, इंपॉर्टेंट कहना है. तो उसमें बहुत बार क्या होता है, इट हैज बीन माय एक्सपीरियंस, व्हाट पीपल थिंक इन हेड इज राइट, बट व्हेनेवर दे पुट इट इन ऑन पेपर इट इज डिस्टॉर्टेड. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? सो इट इज an incompleteness of language that it cannot describe reality completely. समझ में आ रहा है? लैंग्वेज का ये लिमिटेशन है. आप रियलिटी को completely as it is describe नहीं कर सकते. Even though many eminent writers try and we appreciate that, but still it is, there are certain experiences of human beings which you cannot communicate clearly in language. बट ये जीएस में एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, ये यूपीएससी में एप्लीकेबल है. आपके ऐसे वैसे नहीं है, जो लिटरेरी ऐसे जो बोलते हैं वैसे ऐसे नहीं है आपके. सो इन दिस ऐसे यू कैन क्लियरली कम्युनिकेट व्हाट यू आर फीलिंग, योर एक्सप्रेशंस. ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड फाइनली ओरिजिनलिटी. दिस इज व्हाट डिफरेंशिएट्स यू फ्रॉम द मास. इज इट नॉट? आपको अगर खुद को डिफरेंशिएट करना है, यू हैव टू शो योर यूनिकनेस. यू हैव टू आल्सो थिंक अबाउट हाउ कैन यू मेक योर ओन कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन कैन नॉट बी रेप्लिकेटेड बाय एनीबॉडी एल्स. तो इसके बारे में भी हमें सोचना है. एंड इफ यू कीप ऑल दीज फोर कंपोनेंट्स इन माइंड, ओवर अ पीरियड योर एसे विल टेक शेप इन लाइन विद एक्सपेक्टेशंस ऑफ यूपीएससी. ये इमीडिएटली नहीं होगा. जो पहले वाले एसेस होते हैं वो बहुत रॉ होते हैं और वैसे होना ही अच्छा है. इफ यू कॉपी समवन्स एसे लाइक टॉपर्स टेक्निक एंड कंटेंट, यू लूज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू शो योर यूनिकनेस बिकॉज यू गेट देयर थिंकिंग. ऐसा आपको नहीं करना है. इफ यू एट ऑल वांट टू लर्न अबाउट एसे राइटिंग, डोंट रेफर एनी बुक, rather read some of the good articles published in good English newspaper where some of the academic essays are written on the lines of UPSC. And I have shared some of the examples of such essay writing in our channel of ethics. If you scroll through, तो कुछ आर्टिकल मैंने ऐसे शेयर किए हैं जिसमें यूपीएससी के एलिमेंट दिखाई दे रहे हैं. एंड आई हैव अंडरलाइंड दीज एलिमेंट्स. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? ओके, लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ these elements one by one. पहला है, लिखो scope and extent of the topic. तो ये जो पहला एलिमेंट है, इसके लिए हम एक्सरसाइज, एक टॉपिक मैं आपको दूंगा, उसमें आपको ब्रेनस्टॉर्म करना है. ओके, what we do in scope and extent of the topic, we select those points which are close to the topic. तो आपको जो भी पॉइंट्स आपके मन में आएंगे उसको लिखना है, and then you have to divide those points into key points and peripheral points. Key points are those points which are close to the topic, while peripheral points are connected to the topic but they are distantly connected. Is that clear? समझ में आ रहा है आपको? आपको जो भी मन में आ रहा है वो पॉइंट पहले लिखो, फिर उसको कैटेगराइज करो कि ये की पॉइंट है विच इज क्लोज टू द टॉपिक और डिस्टेंटली कनेक्टेड है. ऑल राइट, सो राइट डाउन वन टॉपिक विच इज अ जनरल टॉपिक. इसके बारे में आप लिख सकते हो, यू डोंट नीड स्पेशलाइज्ड रीडिंग फॉर दैट. द डेस्टिनी ऑफ ए नेशन, द डेस्टिनी ऑफ is built its the destiny of a nation is built in its classroom. Now if you come up with 5 to 6 or 10 points, still it is okay. All right, so visualize your essay, try to write what will you write in the essay in point format. You don't have to elaborate it, we'll discuss that later. And once you have exhausted all your ideas, then divide them into categories, key points and peripheral points. All right, I'll give you 6 minutes. Start. How many of you have not understood the meaning of the topic? I'll tell you in simple language. Okay, the topic is that to what extent and why education is important for nation building. Because classroom is a metaphor, is it not? Online people, you can also participate later on in the discussion. I am looking at your chats. write it in point format. Okay, don't elaborate what you are writing. That is not needed at this stage. So if you are explaining something, that is unnecessary now. Simply listing is enough. All right. So is that done? Or you still have something to write about? If at all you have more ideas, that's good. But if you are feeling that I don't have anything right to more, then it is your job to go into the topic online, explore more about it, read everything about it, not topic as such, but the key concepts which are given in the topic. Try to understand connection between them, and then write about it. When starting to write essays. All right. So, what are the points that have come to your mind? Can you share? Raise your hand and speak. All right. But what will you write about this point? If at all, I want you to expand about this. Are we? Is the focus is on world or nation? So again, you should be able to classify it whether this point, whatever you have written, is goes to the close to the topic or it goes away from the topic. Okay, this is your first exercise. All right, doesn't matter. Good attempt. Youth progress, but where is the role of education? That is not automatically. Do you think all youth get education? How many of you think that all youth have an opportunity to develop their capabilities, potential? Do you think that? Are you aware of statistics about education? How many of you? If you don't, then explore it. मुझे मालूम है कि कितने graduates है इंडिया में, enrollment ratio क्या है, how many of them are employable according to industrial statistics, and to what extent they contribute towards the growth of a country. Okay, all right, good attempt. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. So to prove this argument, what you have been saying, what kind of data will you give here? As far as India is concerned, forget about other countries. All? Okay, 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 okay. All right. That's all right.
Then he or she will, the first stage of choosing after 10, science or commerce. that will get away.
But to prove this, what you are saying, do you have any data or whatever your observations about Indian society? What does normally you observe in Indian society?
Example, in India, science and I'm talking about that. British or that is given science.
Correct. So even if a child is not willing to join that stream because he or she has good score, even though she doesn't have interest, she is forced to that stream. So what happens later? They leave that stream. Even though they're successful in that stream, they don't find interest in that stream. So is it not a loss of uh, what you can say, an opportunity which could have been availed by other person who was more interested? So how many of you are engineers? अब देखो, आप इंजीनियरिंग में कुछ करना चाहते हो क्या अभी at this point? No, unless you don't have any other option. So what does that indicate? The evaluation of an interest of a kid is not done at the inception itself. And then by perceiving which career is in demand and which will fetch you better income, you're supposed to go there. Will that help to a nation? It won't. All right, good observation. Anything else? Huh.
About the exams like NEET, CET, or even CL service, like at the young age.
Okay, now you are going towards solution, right? Is this topic about solution? Is this should topic or descriptive topic? Is it about what is happening or what should happen? Think about this. Is it solution oriented topic, that what should happen? Or is it about what is important if you want to build nation? So again, the kind of tone, the kind of language you are going to adopt is going to communicate to examiner whether you have understood the topic or not. All right, good attempt. Anyone else? Huh. Corruption. All right, but are you not explaining negative aspect? The topic is about positive aspect. You are talking about obstacles faced by education system. Are you getting my point? So this should be less emphasized. Even though it is there, it should be less emphasized.
Had it not been, like one point that I've included later on is that had it not been for the education of leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. Ambedkar, or Savitribai Phule, then India would not have been what it is today.
That's good observation. But what argument do you want to make by giving these examples?
It was in the classrooms that, like for example, Dr. Ambedkar, he faced social discrimination as a kid, even in the classrooms. And instead of holding grudge against the people who practiced it against him, he decided to uplift the people belonging to his caste. So he diverted his education into the right direction, and ultimately, upliftment of the Dalits has led to progress of India as a nation.
All right. But whenever you say this, you don't have to make sweeping statement because Dalits are not still so progressed as expected. So you should give the statistics. But why confine yourself to only community? Why not talk about nation building, to which Ambedkar contributed because of his education?
Framing of the constitution.
Correct. All right. Huh. Okay, but what is the role of education into that? And how it contributes to nation building? That you need to talk about. Huh. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Huh.
Creating having an education system where opportunity is given to those who give them employment opportunities after completing their education, like employment and unemployment rates.
All right. Go ahead. हाँ. Hmm. Hmm. For? Okay. But it's not vague when you say country's growth. You have to be specific. Right. But in what way? And how? But does that automatically lead to growth? Not automatically. Today, many engineers are being churned out of colleges. Do you think they're automatically contributing towards economic growth? What makes it possible? That also you need to talk about. All right, go ahead. Correct. Countries? All right. All right, but too vague. I mean, nothing concrete is visible here. You need to make it more concrete. All right. Education is? Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Correct. All right.
they have different kind of, like, for example, villages, and they have, there are, from every region of India, they have schools, uh, government or, big schools where we already have a situation of, for example, give a very concrete example, comparing army schools with them. So, when you take these in army schools, the sons and daughters of officers, they have a different color, and people who are sons and daughters of people, they have a different color. Even sometimes there is a feeling of or in KV. So, most of the JCOs were aware of this fact, practically by this pressure from by
So what does this signify? That's all right. But how it is connected with nation building? Okay, let's try to bring focus on the topic. How do you look at nation building? What do you visualize when I say nation building? Is it economic growth? Yes. But is it economic growth alone? No. Then social harmony, right? A cohesive society or a disturbed society? Which will you choose for nation building? जिस सोसाइटी में राइट्स हो रहे, कम्युनल राइट्स हो रहे, हिंदू वर्सेस मुस्लिम, अपर वर्सेस लोअर, is that a conducive environment for nation building? What do you think? No. Do you think social harmony can be built automatically without education? No. What about active participation of people in politics? Do you think without that nation building is possible? No. Politics is everything. Are you getting my point? It is everywhere. Even in family also there is politics. Whether you like it or not, it is a fact of life. Political education and moral education go hand in hand. Keep in mind. If you ignore political education and if you want to give moral education, that is like putting water on a pot which is kept upside down. Paltya ghatavar pani. Are you getting my point? So active political citizenry is also need for nation building. But is that possible without education? Not possible. Economic growth, is it possible without education? Can you give me a number of examples where a country, even though haven't had enough resources, they rose through education? Japan, Israel, right? What about technological revolution? India still depends on foreign countries for many technologies. Is it not? We don't only purchase defense equipments, we also looking for defense technologies. Is it not? Do you think Make in India scheme will succeed without education? No. What is the key component of Make in India scheme? Have you mentioned that? Indigenization of the imported parts. But just because you're looking for indigenization, does that mean will it happen automatically? No, it won't. Unless you have competent technology, competent manpower, and environment in which it can be developed and ramped up. So technological भी aspect है. What about environmental aspect? Is it not important for nation building? Will people live in polluted cities and contribute towards progress? What about Delhi? Have you written about Delhi? What is its connection to education? Yes. Don't you need proper policies to create good urban cities and smart cities, for example? है ना, स्मार्ट सिटी चाहिए ना हमें, एनवायरमेंटली सस्टेनेबल सिटीज चाहिए, अर्बन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर चाहिए. पुणे के बारे में देखो, the discussion about metro started in 2005. It is still not actualized. Is that a sign of progressive education? Okay, what about putting into use talent that we generate in India, IITians? How many of them live in India and work for India? Have we provided them right environment so that they can stay back and contribute towards India? So educationally कुछ हमारे यहाँ अच्छे hotspots है, but have we been using them for nation building? And in what way? What is the rank of India in terms of generating IPRs? Have you written about that? Intellectual property rights. What is the role of education in that? एजुकेशन में हम सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस किसको देते हैं इन सिस्टम? मार्क्स, है ना, 100% चाहिए, कट ऑफ वही लगता है. डू यू थिंक दैट इज कंड्यूसिव? सो वी बिकम व्हाट? मार्क्सिस्ट, है ना. डज दैट कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट टू इनोवेशन? जो लैटरल थिंकिंग करता है, जो क्रिएटिव है, उसको मार्क्स मिलते हैं क्या? उसको एडमिशन मिलता है क्या? Have we employed that criteria? Are you aware that in Harvard University, they don't just look at your score? Are you been aware of that? They look at your other interest in life and to what extent you have taken deep interest into other fields of life, which cannot be quantified as such. वो हम कर रहे हैं क्या? तो नेशन बिल्डिंग ऐसे ऑटोमेटिक होगा? इंजीनियर्स पैदा हो रहे हैं, डॉक्टर पैदा हो रहे हैं, ऑटोमेटिकल नहीं होगा, लोग छोड़ के जाएंगे फिर, unless they are provided the right environment. So education system is not mere about exams and teaching. It is also providing right environment in which people with different talent can flourish and contribute to the society. Social aspect bhi hai, technological bhi hai, even ethical aspect about which he talked. What about imbibing values? Do we evaluate student based on values and does it reflect on mark sheet? अच्छी वैल्यूज है इसलिए मार्क्स अच्छे मिल रहे, ऐसा कभी हुआ है क्या? नहीं हुआ है. मार्क्स से अलावा अदर टैलेंट्स है, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, लीडरशिप स्किल्स, कम्युनिकेशन एबिलिटी, टू गेट अलोंग वेल विद पीपल, इसको कब हम इवैल्यूएट कर रहे हैं क्या? So there are many instances in which you will find that backbenchers are emerging as leaders, while the toppers in the classroom slave or workers in the industry. Why does that happen? So our education system towards the end, solution oriented आपको लिखना है, that should be designed such that the output of education system will contribute positively towards nation building. तो इसको हम nutshell में क्या बोलते हैं? If you want to generate ideas, write down pestle analysis. Write down what you need to do in the brainstorming session is pestle analysis. If at all you are not able to generate different dimensions or different ideas, pestle helps you a lot. So political aspect, socho. Why politically active citizens is important? Because if educated people don't take active part in politics, that vacuum is filled by unscrupulous elements, which are corrupt, which are criminal. So today what we are witnessing in India is criminalization of politics. Is it not? If you look at the statistics of parliament, more than 40% of our MPs have criminal backgrounds, with cases, horrible cases against them lodged in various police stations. Is that good for our country? And if we continue to ignore that, and if we work on other front, still it is useless. Because good people will leave the country, because their efforts are not appreciated by the system. Because people which are part of the system are not good enough. So, लोगों को क्या चाहिए? Political education भी चाहिए. Okay, many of you are active on social media. Are you? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Whenever you come across opinions of different people, have you checked their background? Don't you think background also matters? Those who have narrow education in, say, science only, engineering only, look at their opinions. They are very much parochial, completely bereft of social realities, political realities. आइडियोलॉजिकल इन्फ्लुएंस ओपिनियंस होते हैं जिसको रियलिटी का टच भी नहीं है. Why do you think that has happened? Because we have been focusing on narrow education. इंजीनियर्स को भी लिटरेचर पढ़ना चाहिए. समझ में आ रहा है? Because after certain stages in your career, you leave technical work aside and you work with human beings. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? अगर आपको अच्छा लीडर बनना है आगे जाके, सोशली रिस्पॉन्सिबल पर्सन, तो आपको लिटरेचर भी मालूम होना चाहिए, सोशल साइंसेस भी मालूम होनी चाहिए, आपको एनवायरनमेंट भी मालूम होना चाहिए. Which new education policy now talking about? Is it not? They are talking about allowing science background students to enter into humanities or let them take any subject from humanities for which credit will be given. तो ये जो डाइवर्सिफिकेशन है एजुकेशन का, ये भी होना चाहिए. Mere specialization doesn't help. तो पॉलिटिकल पार्टिसिपेशन तभी मीनिंगफुल होगा, लोगों को तभी रियलिटी मालूम होगा. Well-to-do people sometimes they tend to think the world appears like them. अगर उनका अच्छा चल रहा है तो सब पूरे दुनिया में अच्छा चल रहा है. There is no hunger, there is no poverty, there is no discrimination because they don't face it. Is that a right approach towards society? No. It is like creating an island of prosperity in the ocean of poverty. ये ऐसा ही हो रहा है ना. You look at reports about inequality. Oxfam के reports है. 50% of wealth is in the hand of 3% of people. Is that a good situation for stability of a country, nation building? No, then the country will be by the rich, for the rich, of the rich. है ना, ऐसे कुछ shops है ना, they exclusively cater for rich, exclusively cater for. If they are minority, it doesn't matter. But if they become majority, then substantial part of economy, then people will have increased misery. And that will make nation itself unstable. There will be rights for food. There will be rights for basic things. अभी भी हो रहा है ना? Look at the statistics. So ये सब dimension जब आप cover करोगे, and in every dimension, if you highlight the role of education, make things better, then you are thinking about nation building. It is not merely about economic. It is not merely about technology. It is also about society. Social education भी चाहिए. सोशल अवेयरनेस भी चाहिए लोगों को, तभी हार्मनी होगी. अदरवाइज पीपल विद पैरोकियल आइडेंटिटीज विल फोमेंट डिस्टर्बेंस. ये आपको सब पॉइंट्स लिखने हैं एंड देन यू विल हैव टू अरेंज योर आइडियाज इन ऑर्डरली फैशन. समटाइम्स ये होता है बिकॉज यू हैव रेड अ लॉट और बिकॉज यू हैव टेकन स्पेशलाइज्ड एजुकेशन इन पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट, यू जनरेट मोर आइडियाज. ऐसा होता है. फॉर एग्जांपल पॉल साइंस बैकग्राउंड के जो स्टूडेंट है, अगर पॉलिटी का टॉपिक आ जाता है तो दे हैव लॉट टू से, है ना. 5000 वर्ड्स भी लिख सकते हैं, उतना उनके पास होता है ज्ञान. तो नेक्स्ट थिंग इज इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट डाउन प्रायोरिटीज adhering to word limit. If it happens that you generate more than necessary ideas, then you have to set the priorities. Because if you write about each and every idea, you cannot give justice to any idea. क्योंकि आपको डेप्थ ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी दिखाना. तो आपको क्या करना है, मानो आपने 20 आइडियाज जनरेट किए हैं, you don't have to write about all 20 ideas. You have to select 10 or 8 ideas which are better than others. So priorities set करना है आपको by keeping in mind word limit. ठीक है. So आपका word limit minimum 1000 है, maximum 1200 है for each essay. So only you have to set your priorities. And while setting the priorities, again you have to pick and choose. So balance this. What you know versus what they want. ये भी बैलेंस करना है. उनको क्या चाहिए ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, लेकिन आपको जो मालूम है उसको डिस्काउंट मत करो. Sometimes what you know comes out of your unique experience. So whatever you have written is not merely you have gleaned it from internet or book or newspaper. It can be also from the novels that you read. Is it not? So have you heard about this novel, Animal Farm? So it is a critique on communism. है ना, आप पोएम भी पढ़ते हो तो उसमें भी कुछ मैसेज होते हैं, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल पोएम लाइक दिस, इफ यू कैन कीप योर हेड when all about you losing theirs. This highlights the importance of keeping your head calm and focused. यहां से भी आता है, शायरी से भी आता है, like हजारों ख्वाहिश ऐसी हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले. Human desire has no limit, greed has no limit. Is it not? So novel से आ सकता है, मूवी से आ सकता है, पोएम से आ सकता है, your personal experience से भी आ सकता है. उसको डिस्काउंट मत करो. So essay is not limited to books alone. And in that sense, it is Nibandha. Are you getting my point? Whatever you are going to say in essay should not be limited to your only bookish knowledge or literary knowledge. It should come from your observation also. जो भी आपके आसपास में हो रहा है, करंट अफेयर में हो रहा है, उस पे आप जो रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहे हो, वो भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो इसमें बैलेंस, रिकंसिलिएशन होना चाहिए. जो आपको मालूम है और उसमें से क्या यूजफुल, को क्या चाहिए, ये आप ट्राई करना है, आपको सिलेक्ट करना है. Is that clear? So this is important in first stage, the scope and extent of the topic. Is that clear? So आपका जो पहला स्टेज है essay writing का, यहाँ से शुरुआत होनी चाहिए. Don't try to write full length essays first. Try to brainstorm first. Try to create structure first. फिर embellishment, decoration बाद में आ जाता है. Is that clear? All right. Now let's go to second point. Thought process. Please draw this table first. Done? Now look at this structure. This to highlight your thought process. especially introduction is important. In introduction, you should write 2 paragraphs. One should be the topic. For example, our topic. What is the main topic in this? Nation building. The focus is on. So first you'll start with topic like what makes a nation great nation, or how we can build a nation given an opportunity from scratch, like it happened in case of Japan. If it happens with any nation, the disaster has and it has been destroyed, and people want to build it, how they can build it? Where should they focus first? Is it on resources or is it on people itself? ऐसे में बातें करनी शुरुआत. I'll give you some examples. I'll give some of the quotes, different methods of introducing the topic that we are going to discuss, how to write introductions. Once I have talked enough about it, I will narrow it. But second paragraph is about introducing the AC. In this paragraph, indirectly, I'm going to explain the examiner that how am I going to explain the role of education in nation building. So I may talk in reference to previous policies adopted by educational policies and their impact on nation building. Indian case में क्या हुआ? I will do comparative analysis. I will compare other nations with India and will show the difference, whether positive or negative, where India has done better or where India has lagged behind on various indicators. So maybe historical analysis हो सकता है, maybe policy analysis हो सकता है, maybe comparative analysis हो सकता है, but जो भी मैं करने वाला हूँ, that I am going to talk in second paragraph. So second paragraph is going to give blueprint of my essay to examiner. इसमें मेरा प्लान होगा कि मैं आगे जाके कैसे लिखने वाला हूँ. And whatever I am going to discuss here, I will expand here. यहाँ मैं hint दे दूंगा examiner को. ये मैं आगे जाके बोलने वाला हूँ. So it may be done by raising the questions as well. So there are different formats to give hints to examiner. Sometimes I may give a series of questions and I will answer those questions in subsequent paragraphs. ये भी हो सकता है. Now here I differentiate myself from the masses. Why? This format particularly useful in this topic. Philosophy में इतना काम नहीं आता है, लेकिन GS में काम आता है. क्यों? Because it has been observed that say section is devoted to GS topic, so there are 4 topics. Out of 4 you have to choose one, and it has been observed that out of 4 only 2 topics appear more familiar. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? So मानो 12,000 people write main exam and they choose 2 topics out of first 4. So say 6,000 choose one topic, 6,000 choose another topic. So likelihood of, as an examiner, I am coming across same topic again and again more. Now, are you reading something different than what others are reading? Do you have different information what others have? Especially current affairs, education के बारे में जो information है, statistics है, policy का analysis है, world में जो example है, वो अलग-अलग है क्या सबके? कभी नहीं होंगे, same ही होंगे, same information है, same topic है. Are you getting my point? So the likelihood that I am reading same thing again and again increases. So I may get bored with the same essay topic. I may evaluate most of you on the same line, only few marks here and there. So how can you make yourself exceptional from the masses? This second paragraph helps you here. By introducing your blueprint of your explanation, you distinguish yourself from the masses. You indicate to examiner, I am not simply going to give you information, I am going to process the information in this way. So this is where your thought process is evident. How you are going to present your information, what is the skeleton, what is the structure that you are going to use is very much evident here. And then as an examiner, my curiosity is continuing. I start anticipating things. I start looking forward to read what you are saying. And once you have written this, then you have to go to the conclusion. In conclusion, second last paragraph should summarize what you have said so far in a smart way. It should not be mere repetition of what you have said. It is like insightful repetition of what you have said. Are you getting my point? You are providing more insight into what you have said so far. So that is, you are not saying new things, but examiner is feeling like, yes, you are saying new things. Techniques of conclusion. So we'll discuss that subsequently. Sometimes it could be solution oriented that we talked about, how we can make education more conducive for nation building in India. You can bring in Indian focus, or you can give your own suggestions, your own experience, or you can close the loop by connecting to what you have talked before. बहुत लोग ऐसे करते हैं कि यहाँ स्टोरी से शुरुआत करते हैं और उस स्टोरी का एंड इधर देते हैं. So they are closing the loop. Are you getting my point? But when you are making conclusion, you have to keep in mind this thing, being aware of what is accuracy. As far as GS topic is concerned, sometimes they are like ocean. You cannot give justice to that topic completely. For example, if I do policy analysis, comparative analysis cannot be done because the space doesn't permit me. If I do historical analysis, then policy analysis cannot be done. Are you getting my point? So when you choose one thing, you deny another thing. But towards the end, you can admit that this topic would have been analyzed in other way also. So you can say towards the end, even though we have done policy analysis, even this topic can be explored in comparative fashion. So what you are saying to examiner indirectly, two things. That I am humble enough to admit that I have not given justice to the topic. Are you getting my point? But second thing you are implying here is that, see, I have knowledge of that aspect also. But because you have not permitted me space enough to express me, I am ending here. Thank you. So you are saying unsaid things. Are you getting my point? आप उसको दिखा रहे हो कि मुझे इसके बारे में भी मालूम है, मैं इसके बारे में भी बोल सकता हूँ, but आपने मुझे उसके लिए space नहीं दी है. I'm stopping now. So this is known as happy ending. Is that clear? So towards the end, ये and depending on what you are going to explain, there are different structures that we'll discuss subsequently. You have to choose appropriate structure to do your narrative. अगर आप सोल्यूशन के बारे में बोल रहे हो तो प्रॉब्लम सोल्यूशन का अलग स्ट्रक्चर होता है. अगर आप कंपैरेटिव के बारे में बोल रहे हो तो कंपैरिजन का अलग स्ट्रक्चर होता है. Are you getting my point? If you are talking about cause and effect analysis, then उसका स्ट्रक्चर अलग होता है. तो आपको जो आप करने वाले हो वो स्ट्रक्चर आपको चूज करना है. So your writing becomes more clear. Is that clear? All right. So this is about second aspect, thought process. Any questions so far? Have you understood the basic elements which I am trying to explain here? All right. Next part is clarity of thought and expression. वो clearly communicate करना है, उसको express भी करना है. Now in this, I'm not going to teach you for presentation aspect because you have learned about them a lot in your schools. Margin कितना रखना है, paragraph की size कितनी होनी चाहिए. All these are technical things. I'm not going to dwell on them a lot. But these two are important. One is paragraph connectors, जिसको मैं indicator words भी बोल सकता हूँ. Paragraph connector मतलब, for example, if I want to give example about my argument, I can start paragraph with for example. Are you getting my point? If I want to show cause and effect analysis, my words will be like hence, therefore, thus, so that, if then, unless, All these words what indicate they? I am trying to show cause and effect relationship. Are you getting my point? If I want to show similarity, what will be indicated words? Similarity के लिए हम क्या word use करते हैं? Similarly, so also, just like, likewise. If I'm talking about contradiction, है ना, दो चीजों में contradiction है. So how do we talk about? Yes. On the contrary. Nonetheless, in spite of, however, despite, yet, instead, on the other hand, when you use these deliberately words, paragraph connectors, two things happen. First, aware of your own thought process. जब भी आप deliberately use कर रहे हो इसको awareness about awareness. आप impulsively नहीं लिख रहे हो. लिखते वक्त आपको यह भी मालूम है कि आप क्या लिखने वाले हो. So being aware of awareness is a meta thinking, higher order thinking जिसको बोलते हैं. So paragraph connector को deliberately करना is to be aware of what you are writing, and then your writing doesn't become impulsive writing. If you write impulsively in UPSC, it becomes a disaster. तो आपको प्लान राइटिंग करना है, डेलिबरेटली आपको कुछ चीजें बतानी है और ब्यूटीफुली भी बतानी है, क्लियरली भी बतानी है. उसके लिए एक चीज है, वो है पैराग्राफ कनेक्टर्स. And see, these are not exceptional things, but unless you put them into practice, they won't help you at all. आपको बताना है क्या आप बताने वाले हो, and these are the indicator words. Is that clear? Second aspect है personal response, and this is key to show who you are. This should come to the main point or your important statistics. For example, in this topic, if there is a statistic that say XYZ percentage of youth leave their education after 12 and they don't pursue further, they are forced into work or job which is not suitable to their potential. If this is an argument which is your main argument, then there will be one-liner personal response that this is very upsetting for me. Are you getting my point? So this indicates, your personal response indicates your value system. If there are good things like good statistics that the literacy of women is increasing, have increased in last decade, then you can say in one line, this is a very encouraging sign that India is getting progressive. So writing such one-liner at important place is a key to show who you are. And don't forget that. But avoid two things. One, don't do it often. In every paragraph you're writing, ये लग रहा है, वो लग रहा है. Then essay will be entirely about you. ये नहीं होना चाहिए. Only at important place, remind yourself, this is where I want to register my response. And second, don't overdo it. Don't do it in sentimentalist. Sentimental नहीं लगना चाहिए. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? That you are extra separated or being anxious or being too much annoyed. ऐसे नहीं. Balance जिसको बोलते हैं, reaction register करना, ये आपको आना चाहिए. So if you keep in mind these two things, your writing becomes clear. In addition to language ability. Is that clear? So आपको deliberately paragraph connectors use करने हैं. And second, आपको personal response लिखना है at important place. And see, whenever you are writing first time, this won't come automatically unless you keep all these guidelines in mind and then write. But it doesn't happen. Are you getting my point? So whenever you write essay, make sure that you are getting them evaluated. So all this feedback will be given to you. And last point is originality of the candidate. Now, nobody can teach you originality. If someone teaches you originality, it is no longer original. You are using techniques of that guy. Originality comes from your own personal experiences. अभी तक आपने लाइफ में जो भी एक्सपीरियंस किया है, प्रॉब्लम, सक्सेस, रिलेशनशिप्स, एक्सीडेंट्स, इससे होता है ना लाइफ में, बहुत बार अपसेट होते हैं, फेल्योर आता है, गलतियां करते हैं, आप रिस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं होते, कोई और रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है, कोई आपको डिसीव करता है, ये बहुत लाइफ में होता है। ओरिजिनलिटी आती है विच मे बी यूनिक इन योर केस एंड मे नॉट बी सिमिलर टू अदर्स। ओरिजिनलिटी दो चीजों में दिखनी चाहिए, एक सोल्यूशन देते वक्त एंड दूसरा पर्सपेक्टिव देते वक्त। पहली चीज सिंपल है, बिकॉज मेनी टाइम्स वी लिव लाइफ लाइक दैट, वी आर सीकिंग सोल्यूशन टू आवर प्रॉब्लम। लेकिन पर्सपेक्टिव ओरिजिनल होना ये बहुत चैलेंजिंग है, ये बहुत बार स्कॉलर लोग ही कर सकते हैं। मेनी टाइम्स आर पर्सपेक्टिव्स आर बॉर्डर पर्सपेक्टिव्स, समझ में आ रहा है? वो हम सीख रहे हैं, कहां से सीख रहे हैं? डिफरेंट सोर्सेज, बुक से, एक्सपर्ट से, फिलोसोफर से, पेरेंट्स से, फ्रेंड्स से। सो पर्सपेक्टिव में ओरिजिनलिटी लाना इतना आसान नहीं है, यू विल हैव टू डू अ लॉट ऑफ हार्ड वर्क, बट इन सोल्यूशन यू कैन ब्रिंग योर ओरिजिनलिटी। जो आपने लाइफ में देखा है लोगों को करते हुए, आपने खुद किया है, फेस किया है, उसको ओवरकम किया है, इसको सब आपको रिफ्लेक्ट करना है। इज दैट क्लियर? और ऐसा होता है, समटाइम्स थिंग्स may appear simple to you but they may be profound to someone else। समझ में आ रहा है आपको? जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल सम ऑफ यू माइट हैव सीन हंगर इन योर लाइफ, तो उस वक्त आपने क्या किया, उस वक्त आपने क्या सोचा, हाउ यू थॉट अबाउट फ्यूचर, व्हाट डिड इट टीच यू, आपको उसने क्या सिखाया? बहुत बार फ्रेंडशिप में फेल्यूर होता है, वी जज पीपल इन एन इनकरेक्ट वे, है ना? सही को गलत समझते हैं, गलत को सही समझते हैं। तो उससे आपने क्या सीखा? आर यू लुकिंग एट योर फेल्यूर रैशनली और सेंटिमेंटली? आर यू द काइंड ऑफ पर्सन हु कैरीज गिल्ट टुवर्ड्स द एंड और लर्न्स फ्रॉम इट एंड ओवरकम्स इट? ये आपको दिखाना है। बट ये दिखाते वक्त आपको दो चीजें अवॉइड करनी है। एक, डोंट ट्राई टू बी टू नाइव व्हेन गिविंग सॉल्यूशन। तो कुछ लोगों के सॉल्यूशन इतने आइडियलिस्टिक रहते हैं कि जिनको रियलिटी का कुछ मालूम ही नहीं होता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, सम पीपल हैव यू हैव हर्ड, पाकिस्तान इतना परेशान कर रहा है तो एटॉमिक बॉम्ब क्यों नहीं फेंक देते? तो इसको बोलते हैं कॉम्प्लेक्स सिचुएशन के आसान आंसर्स। रियलिटी ऐसे काम करती है क्या? इंडिया में गरीबी है तो पैसे क्यों नहीं बांट देते? डू यू थिंक इकोनॉमिक वर्क लाइक दैट? इफ यू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट मनी, व्हाट विल हैपन? इन्फ्लेशन विल इंक्रीज एंड इट विल अल्टीमेटली हार्म द पुअर पीपल। तो आपको थोड़ा सा रियलिटी का भी अवेयरनेस चाहिए। व्हेनेवर यू आर सजेस्टिंग सॉल्यूशन, दे शुड वर्क इन एक्चुअल वर्ल्ड। तो टू नाइव भी नहीं होनी चाहिए। सेकंड, योर सॉल्यूशन शुड नॉट बी टू एम्बिशियस एज वेल। एम्बिशियस का मतलब क्या है? द while giving solution that your solutions are perfect and you know what is to be done. Only the thing is that you don't have power. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? बहुत लोग ऐसे भी लिखते हैं कि मुझे सब मालूम है, आप सिर्फ मुझे पावर दे, मेरे पास सब रोड मैप है, कैसे एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को सुधारना है, कैसे भारत में बदलाव लाना है। नो, यू नीड टू बी हम्बल इनफ। So many people have been into the system, they have tried at their best level and yet they couldn't succeed in some respect. So you have to be a little bit grounded into reality. You have to be humble enough. You have to talk about possibilities, not certainties. Are you getting my point? So when you avoid these two things, then you can bring out your originality. All right. So these are the 4 points I wanted to communicate. Now where to start? Start with those topics which are frequently asked. So write down these topics which are made bold here, highlighted. One is quote-based or philosophical topic. Often it is asked. Don't write down essay topics here given. They are given only for the sake of examples. Only write the titles here. So one topic which often asked is quote-based or philosophical. Now here you can start with concept and not topic as such. So which concept which frequently occur? Joy, gratitude, morality, reality, conform, ideal, modern, ये जो की आइडियाज है इसके बारे में आप थोड़ा पढ़ो। खुद को एक्वाइंट कर लो. डोंट take it for granted that you know the meaning and every dimension of this concept. No, don't do that. ठीक है, जो भी ये कंसेप्ट आ रहे बार बार, एक बार भी आए तो भी एक्सप्लोर करो. That will help you to expand your ideas about the topic and try to collect as many quotes as possible and think about them. Make it a habit. कुछ लोगों का हैबिट होती है, they maintain a diary and in diary they write good quotes, good thoughts. तो सिर्फ लिखना नहीं, उसके बारे में सोचना भी है, ये इसका मतलब क्या हो सकता है. And if you are not able to make out the meaning, create a group of friends. Someone may throw light on it, someone may show you different interpretation than what you are thinking. And that also helps you to expand your thought process. Help each other out. Second है polity public administration. This topic also every year almost. Okay. तो इसके बारे में आपको बेसिक रॉ मटेरियल क्या चाहिए? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का अवेयरनेस चाहिए, पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम का अवेयरनेस चाहिए. समझ में आ रहा है? की लॉज अबाउट पॉलिटिक्स, की इवेंट्स अबाउट पॉलिटिक्स, गुड और बैड, ये भी आपको मालूम होनी चाहिए. देन ओनली यू कैन प्रेजेंट योर एनालिसिस अबाउट इट. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? सो पॉलिटी पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में आपको क्या क्या चीज चाहिए? इंस्टीट्यूशंस, लॉज, की इवेंट्स, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, वैल्यूज विच आर गाइडिंग आवर पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम, उसके बारे में भी अवेयरनेस चाहिए. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के जो पहले 50 आर्टिकल्स है, 50, 51, उसका बाय हार्ट अवेयरनेस चाहिए. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? तभी आपका इसमें जो सब्सटेंस है ये आएगा. एंड प्लस इट इज डायनेमिक टॉपिक बेस्ड ऑन करंट अफेयर. तो जो भी अभी करंट में पॉलिटी में हो रहा है लास्ट 1-2 साल में, उसका एनालाइज ऑलरेडी किया हुआ चाहिए. इज दैट क्लियर? Next is science and technology. It is rarely asked, every 3 to 4 years. GPT, is it not? So make yourself aware about all the dimensions and implications of such technologies, which are very much now in pipeline and would be used. But some of the originator of these technologies are recommending that we should not hurry about applying AI a little bit further unless we are sure about its implication. तो आपको दोनों भी चीजें डिबेट करनी है. इट माइट बी अ हॉट टॉपिक ऑफ यूपीएससी. आपको दोनों साइड भी पूछ सकते हैं कि क्या होना चाहिए, क्या नहीं होना चाहिए. तो डिबेट योरसेल्फ. मोस्ट फेवरेट इज वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट. एवरी अल्टरनेट ईयर दिस टॉपिक आस्क्ड. ओके, सो इफ यू आर स्टडीइंग टॉपिक लाइक इंडियन सोसाइटी, इट इज ऑलरेडी देयर. व्हाट यू नीड टू डू इज एक्सपांड अवेयर फैक्ट्स, लॉज, then welfare schemes targeting women, then crime data about women. एनआरबी का जो रिपोर्ट पब्लिश होता है उसमें स्टैटिस्टिक्स होती है, रेप कितने होते हैं, मर्डर कितने हैं, डाउरी डेथ्स कितनी है, एजुकेशन लेवल क्या है, ये सब डेटा आपके पास चाहिए, है ना? तो ये टॉपिक के लिए यहां से शुरुआत करनी है. The next 4 are write down इकोनॉमी और इंडियन डेवलपमेंट. अगेन every year. तो इसके लिए रॉ जो मटेरियल है आपका वो है एनसीईआरटी के बुक्स, इंडियन इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट, राइट? देन देयर इज अनदर बुक नोन एज रमेश सिंह which will make you acquainted with economic system in India. Then government documents like budget and economic survey are also useful. All right, and then your teacher of economy is going to share many articles and current affair with you. Okay, then education, as we saw this topic, destiny of a nation is shaped in its classroom. It is also all right, so get acquainted with educational scenario in India, reality. There are various surveys are done at primary level, secondary level, even at level of 10th. You might have heard about Pratham and Asar survey, right? Then there are also survey of Ministry of Health and Education. उनके reports publish होते हैं, उसमें भी आपको data मिल सकता है. तो ये raw data आपको collect करना है. Then another favorite topic is Indian democracy, society and culture. तो ये जो आपका GS1 का पेपर है उसमें बहुत सारा रॉ मटेरियल आपको मिलता है, लेकिन उसको सिर्फ जीएस के बारे में ट्रीट मत करो. Maintain a separate notebook for this AC and divide that notebook into 8 different topics which are frequently asked. और इनिशियली आपको क्या करना है उसमें, यू हैव टू पुट ऑल फैक्ट्स, स्टैटिस्टिक्स, नेम्स, कॉन्क्रीट डेटा. ओपिनियन नहीं लिखने हैं, ओपिनियन बाद में आएंगे. बट फर्स्ट स्टेप क्या है, आपके पास सब्सटेंस होना चाहिए, आपके पास डेटा होना चाहिए, किसी भी स्कीम का नाम होना चाहिए, लॉ का नाम होना चाहिए, इवेंट का नाम होना चाहिए, पर्सन का भी नाम होना चाहिए, कोट्स अबाउट दैट टॉपिक ये भी होने चाहिए, ये भी डेटा है. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? एंड देन यू कैन थिंक ऑफ यूजिंग देम वेरेवर इट इज पर्टिनेंट. सो दैट इज सेकंड स्टेज. सो जब तक आप ये 5-6 मंथ नहीं करते, तब तक आपके पास इनफ रॉ मटेरियल नहीं है to write essay. So as I told you, if you want to start early, choose a topic, research about it on internet and in various books, let it sink in, make sure that you have understood what you have read, and then after some gap, take it for writing. But before writing, don't write impulsively, plan it well, brainstorm it well, debate it well within yourself, then write. Initially, it will take a lot of time, and it should take rather, but over a period, that time period should be narrowed down so that you'll be prepared to write this topic in exam hall within a short duration. वहां प्रेशर ज्यादा होता है. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है एग्जाम हॉल के बाहर आने के बाद आपको ये लगता है कि यार ये भी मैं लिख सकता था, ये भी पर्टिनेंट था, लेकिन उस वक्त याद नहीं आया. तो ये चीज नहीं होनी चाहिए. तो मेक योरसेल्फ acquainted with important parts of all these topics, important facts, so that nothing is left in the exam hall, which is important. And this is a gradual process. It won't happen suddenly. It should be done consistently. So every week, allot a day and some hours for essays. Even though you may not write essay, start compiling data focused on essay. Don't integrate your preparation of essay with GS. Okay, keep it separate. If you are collecting facts for GS, also collect separately from essay. That will make your preparation focused preparation. If you integrate it, you will lose track of essay preparation. It happens with most of the aspirants. उसको आपको separate ही रखना है, तभी आप focus preparation कर पाओगे. This is the key. Make it separate and make it focused. All right? Any questions? Go ahead. फिलोसॉफी के लिए रीडिंग पहले शुरू मत करो. ठीक है, पहले कंसेप्ट से आप खेलो. जो भी कंसेप्ट अभी तक आए हैं उसका नेचर आप समझ लो. Okay, when we start discussing philosophical topic, I will suggest you more reading. But if at all you want to start, there is a good book, History of Western Philosophy by Bertrand Russell. It is written for layman. It is not written for experts. History